Chapter 2. This week we're going to be talking about the biological functions of heredity, prenatal development, and birth. And boy, do I have a treat for you. This last week, while you've been starting your class, I've been getting to be a nana to a 17-month-old and a new baby that is now 6 days old. And so I've asked my daughter-in-law to share a little bit about her experience with the birth of 2 boys. One, the oldest, Grayson, was 10 pounds and Kale was 8 pounds. So I'd like for you to meet my daughter-in-law, Valerie.
Hello. We thought this would be perfect. Oops, there goes Grayson. Hey, he won't sit here the whole time.
Oh, yeah,
here's Kale. Oops.
There he is. He's adorable.
So he's brand new to our lives, and Judy and Whitey have been out here helping us with them. So I will give the little one to Nana.
My favorite job.
He's got hair, and his older brother didn't have hair. So with my deliveries, were a lot different. With Grayson, my oldest, I came up on my 40 weeks and didn't have him yet, so they scheduled me for an inducement 5 days after I was due. So on that 5th day, I came into the hospital at 7 a.m. and they gave me medicine and started my body kind of working to do, labor at that point. So all day I sat there in the bed, and finally later that evening I started having a few contractions, but it took that whole day into the next day to have Grayson. So that delivery was very kind of long and drawn out, and I actually had 2 epidurals, which is the shot in your back, which helps with delivery and delivery pains. The second one was wearing off by the time I had Grayson, which was good because I could feel my body more, and that helped push. And then I had a little healthy 10-pounder through vaginal delivery, so that was pretty good because he was pretty big. So and then with little Kale, my doctor thought, well, are you going to go over on this one too? We have the same doctor. We were lucky enough to move back home here in Ray, Colorado, and get the doctor that we had with Grayson, because we moved away for a year and now we're back. But he scheduled me for an inducement, but this little one decided to come a day early. So I'm laying in bed at 3 in the morning, and you feel your body start to contract, and they say your contractions need to be about 5 minutes apart when you need to get to the hospital. So I started timing these pains in my stomach, and they were about 6.5, and they got shorter and shorter very, very quickly. And we knew when they were 3 minutes apart, we are 25 minutes away from our hospital. We live out in the country, so we knew we needed to get on the road. And I got to the hospital with Kale, and I said I need an epidural. I was in so much pain, and they said, we need to check your dilation. So your dilation can be anything from 1 to 10. When you're at 10, you're ready to give birth and deliver. And mine was already at a 7 when I got there. So instead of giving, another shot or something to soothe my pain, they didn't necessarily want to do that at that point because it can be a sedative or kind of put the child under too when they are delivered. So instead of sedating them, they thought, no, you can do this on your own. So this one, I felt all the pain, but it went very quickly.
Thank heavens.
From there, I was dilated very, very fast and got to the hospital at 6 o'clock in the morning and had him at 8:05. So it was a much different experience. Felt a lot more through my body, but also this next week after delivering, my body feels pretty amazing and healing a lot faster than it did the first time.
It was worth all that pain.
It was worth all the pain because now I kind of feel like my body is pretty healthy afterwards.
That's
So
great.
we did another vaginal delivery. So
now we have 2 healthy grandsons. And I kept telling her she couldn't have a baby that was any better than Grayson, but Kale has been just as good of a baby. He's 6 days old and he's slept through the night most nights.
Yes, which is not very typical, and I don't want to jinx myself, but he is letting us get our rest, and he's latching on. I'm breastfeeding. He's latching on very good, and yeah, we couldn't be happier.
Neither could his grandparents. Well, I want to thank Valerie. Did you have anything else to say?
Nope, just kind of two different stories I've been through with 2 sweet boys now. So
I think it just goes to show you think you have it all figured out with one child, and then you have a second. You figure it out with the second. So I'd like to thank her for joining us today, and she only felt it was fair if my son, her husband, joined us too, but he's at work, so he lucked out. The timing was right for us to do this now. So
yeah, we have a little onesie on him today though that says "handsome like Daddy," so he'll see that when he gets home. Huh?
Yes, he will. He will be tickled.
It was nice to talk to everyone. Judy's the best. She's an awesome teacher, so we hope you enjoyed.
And enjoy this chapter. I know you're going to learn a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.